What's going on? Today I want to talk to you about living in the freedom of uncertainty and not knowing the next step, and how doing this, even though it may feel scary and it may feel like you're not supposed to be living in this way, how living in this way is actually the most beautiful thing, and it actually maximizes what is possible for you. So, routine, structure, patterns, habits, pensions, holidays, systems of years and, seasons. All of these things are human constructs, right? These ideas, they're ideas that we have implemented into our lives, and now we, even the people that are born into this reality, this dimension, whatever you want to call it, adopt these systems naturally, right? Because they're conditioned with them. All of these things are just ideas that we have created, human beings have created, to feel sort of comfortable within the uncertainty that is life, right? Habits, patterns, all of these things are just so you feel some sort of comfort, so you feel some sort of certainty, security that you are taken care of. But if you take away the routines, the habits, all these structures, if you take away all of these things, what is left? The only thing that would be left is the now moment, with absolutely no clue about what is coming next, right? So absolute uncertainty, but also with that, infinite possibility. So infinite possibility is great, but because it comes with absolute uncertainty, it evokes fear in those who are not certain of their true nature, of their eternal nature. Those who are not even attuned, aligned with the idea of being taken care of moment by moment forever, as long as they are living this life. So you see, routines and structures and habits and whatnot, they're great because they help those types of people, which is nearly everybody to a certain extent, helps us feel sort of comfortable. But at the same time, they take away our freedom. They take away what is possible for us. And they all kind of become like imprisonment that we create for ourselves. So one of the things that, if you want to truly maximize what is possible for you, maximize your potential in this lifetime, you have to start moving away from trying to create more structures, trying to create more physical means through which you can feel secure, right? Most people spend their entire lives just working for money because they think money is going to help them live the life that they want. Meanwhile, they spend their whole lives slaving for money because it brings them certain amount of security. But money, being a physical thing, is very transitory. It comes and goes. And so their entire lives are just spent in constant anxiety about spending too much money or losing it all, and securing enough money to feel safe. But not just money, everything else. As long as your security, as long as your sense of security and well-being is rested with something physical, like a job, a home, money, a certain structure like a pension, your routine, as long as that's the case, you will always be dependent on something that is transitory, on something that you don't necessarily have full control over. And then yes, routine and all these structures will help you feel secure, but they will also limit you just as equally, just as much. So they will actually inhibit your freedom. So one of the things that you have to start doing is you don't have to move completely away from these things that we have created, but rather just first affirm to yourself and come to a greater realization as you go through life of your eternal well-being, of the fact that you are always taken care of as life. Because you are part of this existence, you are equally valued as any other form of existence, and you are always taken care of equally as much as any other form of existence. Knowing that, taking action from that, seek not to secure your well-being through physical means. Don't spend your entire life trying to secure your well-being by attaining a certain income goal or chasing a certain, structure like a pension. But instead, asking yourself, what can I do with this life? What is possible for me? What can be my highest expression? What am I truly passionate about? What is my path of greatest joy and fulfillment? And then following that path, knowing that moment by moment you are taken care of, and it will unfold according to that. See, this is something that I was actually, I'm currently going through, and I've gone through my entire journey again and again, trying to live in the uncertainty and not trying to chase those structures and money and whatnot. But this is something that I'm currently going through as well, and I'm experimenting with. And I am documenting my journey, in this new series that I created, Act on Your Bliss and the Manifestation Will Follow, where I'm doing things regardless of if I have the means for them or not, where I'm doing things that I truly want to do that I was holding myself back from doing until I had maybe a certain amount of money or a certain amount of success, or I was at a certain, place in my life. But rather, just getting real with myself. Okay, these are the things that I actually want to do. And so this is just doing them. So this is a place where I'm in my life right now where, I had started this, when I had just started my journey, I wanted to just make a living doing what I love, which is this, which is helping other people, which is exploring these types of concepts, growing in my own spiritual journey. This is what I'm passionate about. And so, as I started to grow the business, and I was really passionate about growing the business, and I started to get more clients, I realized that I had less and less time to do what I actually wanted to do. And, part of what I wanted to do is serve people, and help people and do my business, right? The coaching thing was helping me do that. But at the same time, that isn't all of what I wanted to do. And by getting more clients, yes, I was getting more money, but at the same time, I was losing the time and the freedom to do what I wanted to do. And what happened is I started to live a more structured existence where I had things planned out all the time. My weeks were structured. I was living too much in a structured routine. And my main focus was to just build and maintain my business. But what I realized is what I actually want to do isn't necessarily build and maintain a business. If I look at the most successful entrepreneurs, their entire lives are spent building and maintaining their businesses, which is beautiful and all. If that's truly something that you're passionate about, then that's amazing. But I realized that that's not something that necessarily I want to do, at least this time in my life. I don't want my entire time just going towards building and maintaining a business through which I can feel secure because I have enough money. At this current time in my life, this current point in my life, what's more valuable to me is showing myself that there is no end. Showing myself that you don't need the means first to do something extraordinary, something that you actually want to do. I want to show myself that I can do something through unconventional means, through a different model of reality. Most people, right? Everybody just wants to work hard to attain something, and that's the inner intention model, and that's perfectly okay. But I want to explore something different. In my opinion, something greater, something that is more resonant with me, something that is more beautiful to me. And so that's why I started that whole series. And that's why, I had to start moving away from, just seeking more clients and more money and more, like, improve the business. That's why I started taking on less clients. And by doing so, I had more time to grow spiritually. I had more time to meditate. I had more time to do the things that actually bring me greater joy, things that I want to do, things that I was waiting to do until I had a certain amount of money. Do you see, like, that's what we call pendulums in reality transurfing. Pendulums sometimes stray you away from your goals, thinking that you need all this other stuff, the money, the glamour, the prestige, the stuff, so that you can do the things that you actually want to do. But then in the chase of those things, in the pursuit of those things, you completely forget that you even wanted to do those things. And then you just kind of end up building and maintaining a life that is not even bringing you joy. So this is something that you have to constantly think about. Are you going to spend your whole life trying to secure your well-being, trying to secure a structure or something physical through which you can feel secure, through which you can derive a sense of well-being and happiness? Or do you want to live on the cutting edge? How life is truly meant to be lived in the most exciting way. A way in which the universe again and again proves to you that you are taken care of. Because every time you put yourself on the line, it comes to support you. But you see, this type of living can never make sense to a mind that has never experienced it. It certainly didn't to me until I had to do it myself. And it certainly, if you haven't done it yourself yet, it will just remain an idea, a fancy idea that there's a lot of fear behind. But because there's a lot of fear behind it, it shows you that this is something that you have to explore. And because you do have the desire to explore it, everybody does. It's just a natural part of our heart. The path of your heart's desire requires you to explore this path, to go for it regardless of what you may feel. Go for it regardless of what someone else might say. So I know you have the desire within you to live a life like that. And to what degree you want to do it, at least in the beginning, is all up to you. You could like kind of tread the water, like just like slowly test the waters and then go in. But eventually, that is the type of life that you truly seek on a deeper level. It is a beautiful thing to know naturally your eternal well-being, and it coming from somewhere that is non-physical. So then as you go through life, even if your bank account says something that, even if your bank account doesn't say the greatest number, or if you don't own any property or whatever in the physical material realm, then you still feel secure. And you let that feeling of security and well-being and that alignment with source be your sense of security. And that is the true substance through which security in the physical manifests. So the money, the job, the structure can come in as a manifestation of that sense of security. But as long as you are chasing the symbols of that sense of security, then first you always remain dependent on them, and then when they leave, you are a wreck. Your life becomes chaotic, and you lose all sense of well-being. And if that's happening to you in your life right now, that's actually waking you up to the fact that you don't need those things to feel secure. So wake up to that and feel secure regardless. Realize that life is always supporting you. And then let that be your sense of security, and then trust moment by moment, and then simply follow the path of your joy, path of your bliss. Do what you are passionate about and allow life to come support you. Allow life to be that excitement that you seek. The excitement that you seek does not lie in the false symbols that you're chasing. It lies in the true desires of your heart. So follow that path. The only thing that is holding you back from doing so is the false concepts, is the false belief systems. So become aware of them and follow that path. And then notice for yourself that life will come support you. Notice for yourself how it always works out somehow. That is true living with freedom. In order to do so, you're going to have to simplify your life. You're going to have to gain a certain degree of mental clarity. You're going to have to be meditative in your approach. You know, when you're living in this way, there's no time to discuss your problems. When you're living in this way, there's no time to contemplate conflict, because your attention needs to stay in a positively directed manner. And you always need to remain aware of your eternal well-being. So work towards that. If you truly desire it, if that truly resonates with you, work towards it. And watch how life becomes more enjoyable, more exciting, more adventurous. All the emotions that you're seeking, all the states of being that you're seeking, you gain from living that life. Living that truest expression of who you are here to explore, what you are here to explore. So try it, test it out, experience it for yourself, and see how it goes. Okay, if you have any questions about this, I'm sure you do, put them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to get coaching with me one-on-one, I have opened that back up. Again, I am taking only a limited amount of clients now. So if you'd like to enroll in the coaching, click the link in the description box below and schedule a free call with me to discuss if we are the right fit to work together. All right, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.